what's happening here? That's chaos. What's this? What are these people? They are here for the audition, Martina. Like, what's? We can't audition like 500 people. So, well. So I think there was a misunderstanding. We've rented this place for an audition because I'm a test producer. And apparently there is something else, like you're here for something with angles. I don't know what it is. Now that you're here, you can stay, but just, maybe it's your first time at an audition, so maybe you can take pictures and share them on social media or whatever. It's not going to take long. So we'll figure out something. Okay. There's a up. Just trying to set up the Visio thing for the audition. Okay, it's there. Well, you can chat, but just don't make too much noise. We're just doing our audition here. So, Dave, can you send like the first person? Hey, what's your name?
Dummy.
Nice meeting you, dummy. So let me explain what's happening here. We're building a recipes application, and it's just an application where you search for recipes and then you add them to your cart, which we call a meal planner, so that you can cook that stuff the next week. And as you know, like as all applications, it's just a couple of pieces of code that we call chunkies. Chunkies that, like you, that live together and try to figure out a way to make things happen, Of course, each chunky is different. Some are a bit crazy, others are young and think they're cool and modern, others are old and think they know everything, and some are relatively clean, others have questionable hygiene, But you'll learn to love them. And here's the general architecture of our applications. So we have a recipe search component, which is like a smart or container component that gonna have a form in the recipe filter components where you can filter the keywords and stuff. And the recipe search is gonna call a service, which is a recipe repository, that's gonna fetch the recipes, and then we can add them to the meal planner when you click the add button. The thing is, the recipe repository, well, we have a really good actor, like a really good chunky for that. But the thing is that, actors, like, they're expensive. They're, each time you call them, like, they take milliseconds to answer. Sometimes they answer with data from other testing scenarios, and tests have conflicts between them. So we need someone like you. We need a test double that will be here to perform some stunts, okay? So that's the job we're auditioning you for, Mr. Dummy. So how cool is that?
Dummy!
Cool, I'm happy you're excited. So for the first scenario, we just want to make sure that when we load the component, they call you, you get all the recipes using the search recipes method they'll be calling you with, and you respond with the recipes.
Dummy.
Good. So I'm going to render the recipe search component, and oh, we have an error. Computer, zoom on the script, please. What kind of desk double is this? Come on, we're not looking for extras smiling in the background. We're looking for actors. Oh, it's not even an implementation. It's just a string, just to make things inject. Thank you, dummy. We'll get in touch with you. Next candidate, please. Hey, what's your name?
Stub.
Nice meeting you, Stub. So this is not a private audition anymore, apparently. You've heard the intro, so whenever you're ready, I'm going to render a recipe search component, and let's go. Okay. Oh. Don't move. Just have to check we have apparently a problem in our code in the recipe search component. Computer, go to code. What's that? Evaluate search recipes? Oh. Oh, the stub responded with undefined. Okay, got it. So, listen, you should answer with an observable emitting an array of recipes, a burger and a salad.
Oh, okay.
Good. Thank you. Let's go. So I render the recipe search component, and good. I have my recipes displayed. Now I'm going to start typing BUR, like for filtering the recipes. And when I start typing, this should filter the recipes, and I should only get the burger. What? Man, you're supposed to respond with burger only.
Oh, okay. Just give me the lines in the exact order.
Okay, so in the first call, I want you to respond with a burger and salad, and the second call, I want you to respond with just a burger, okay? Okay, let's move to another scene, don't have much time. So, in this scene, the component will receive all the keywords directly as an input from the query parameters. So, initially, you will search immediately with the right keywords, okay? Your turn. We're supposed to filter where are the results.
Isn't this the first answer you were expecting?
No, yes, that was for the other scene, but I can't give you all the answers in the exact order for each scene. They look like someone who scripts everything. I'm not a playwright, we're just improvising things here. We can't give you a specific script for each test, you'll have to adapt. And by the way, what do you do with these arguments? You're not checking them? What if we call you bad arguments?
Oh, I don't know. I don't check the parameters. It's definitely not my job.
Okay, then whose job is it? Well, thank you, Stub. We'll get in touch with you soon. Who did the pre-screening? Is that you, Martina? I can't work in these conditions. Bring the next one, please. What's your name?
Hello. You can call me Spy.
Okay, nice meeting you, Spy. Let's go. So I'm going to type the keywords and BUR, and it should display only the burger. Hey, your turn. Oh, are you right? Should I repeat, or can we bring something to drink? Okay. Do you need anything else, or can we?
No, I'm fine. I'm just keeping note of everything the component says to me so that we can check later if the component is not making any mistakes.
Okay, that can come in handy, but if you don't respond to the recipe search component, the component might be disappointed, so how are we going to do that? Anyway, I also noticed you're wearing some matching jest shoes there, and what if we move to another studio where we'd ask you to drop the shoes and put on a V-test hat, for example? Would that work for you?
Oh no! I'm highly coupled to my jest shoes. I can't switch like that.
I see. Well, we'll figure that out. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is crazy. Anyway, the stub and the spy could work well together so that we can control the indirect inputs, indirect outputs, which are like the parameters and the return values, but they're high maintenance, We can't afford that right now. Okay, well, next. What's your name?
Muck.
Nice meeting you, Muck. Okay, let's go.
Wait, I have to tell you a bit more about the way I work. First, you'll have to tell me everything about all the calls that I will receive.
Okay.
I won't let anyone call me differently from the script. And if that happens, I throw errors at them.
Oh, okay, and what if they catch the errors?
Why would they do that? They shouldn't.
Maybe because they can, I don't know. Well, and what if they don't interact with you at all?
Oh, you'll have to tell me when the scene is finished, and I'll verify if they called me properly, then let you know.
Okay, well, thank you. But wait a second, what if we change the script a bit, you know, if we change our testing scenario?
Then of course you'll have to tell me about these changes for each scene.
Okay, okay, thank you, Mark. See you. We'll never make it. I'm pretty sure we'll never make it. Do we still have a candidate? Oh, the last one. Okay, bring it, because I can't handle this anymore. What's your name?
I'm fake.
Okay, nice meeting you, Fake. So what's your thing? Do you need the order of the answers, or the expected parameters, or the testing framework we'll be using, or the day we'll be running the test, or what's the constraint you come up with?
No, I'm fine. I've read the character description and I feel that I can really grasp its identity and imitate it. I just need the list of all the recipes we'll be playing with and I'll figure out from there. So just shoot and let's see what happens.
Cool. This is interesting. So, I mean that if I like call set recipes and give you burger and salad, then I render the search component. Yes, it works. Now, what if I type BUR, like I'm searching for burger? Yeah, it works. Now, what if I go off script and I type something which is not planned, like Schwarzwälder Multaschen? Cool, it works. Great. One last thing. How can we make sure that your implementation doesn't give us some bad surprises when, like, we switch to the real implementation? How do you make sure you're aligned with the real implementation?
There are different ways. One of them is this contract test that both the real implementation and I sign. If the contract changes and one of us doesn't comply, you'll see it immediately.
Cool. Now, what if we move to another studio where we are working with tools other than Jest or Jaspin or whatever, and we move to VTest or Playwright component testing? Would you be fine with that?
Of course. I'm testing framework agnostic, so I can work in any studio.
Wow, that's cool. Well, thank you so much. You'll definitely hear from us. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Martina. That was a really good cast. Like this one, we really have to get in touch with them. So, who am I? I'm Younes, and I'm here to talk about testing with you, to make it like a better experience so that you don't get as horrible as the test producer you just met. And so I'm a software cook or software coach, so I try to help teams do their best with Angular and the whole ecosystem and NX and whatever. And I'm also very famous for being out of time. So why am I here? More precisely. So I'm here to talk about mocks. And more precisely again, as Martin Fowler would say, mocks aren't stubs. And the thing that I want to share with you is that what we commonly call mocks are actually test doubles. And there are so many different test doubles. There's the dummy, the mock, the fake, the stub, the spy. And the mock is actually something that we don't use that often. That's the funniest story. And there's one of the test doubles which is very interesting, which is the fake, that we don't use enough. And the Angular code base itself is full of fakes, by the way. It's very interesting that there isn't fakes, and which can make the testing experience way better. Tests should not be a horrible experience. If the test is a horrible experience, then there's something wrong with the testing strategy. Yeah. So here I want to focus on two different test doubles. What I call the spying stub, because it's a stub that we can control that returns like specific values, and that spies the calls it receives, and the fake, which is a whole like fake implementation. So what we're going to do is that we're going to split the room into like two. Like I think the middle of the room is here. And this is the fake team. Yay, fake team! You're here. And you're three. Is that, you're here. All right, yay. And we have the spying stub team here. Good job, thank you. Anyway, so let's start the battle. No, don't fight. It's just like a virtual battle. And let's dive into some code. Boom. Choop, choop, choop. And and while I'm starting this whole thing, I would like to thank the voices in different ways. I would like to thank my wife for the voices, and I would like to thank Dave, Martina, and Michael because they took care of my voice this whole morning, which was broken. So it helps a lot. And now that I have my code here, okay. So here I have my test for the recipe search component, and it's using a spying stub that I set up here at the beginning. And when I render the component, I provide a kind of spy implementation where I stop the return values, okay, and I can control that. But as you can see, it's some boilerplate here, and we want to try to keep it type safe. And at the end, in this test, I check that we're displaying burger and salad, but I'm also making sure that I'm calling the search method with the right parameters. And when I filter, I'm reprogramming the stub to return one burger, and then I'm checking that it's called with the right parameters. Now, let's see how robust this is, because tests should be structure insensitive, meaning that if I refactor my code, it shouldn't affect the tests that much. And let's change the recipe filter component, which has a debounce here. I'm going to remove the debounce. And let's see how it goes for the tests. And, oh, the test failed because, let's go back to the test. Here, the spy was called three times instead of one because I typed B-U-R. So here the test was a bit overspecifying because this debounce thing is something that I'm already testing somewhere else. I don't want this test to care about it. So I have to remove this and maybe just make sure that to have been last called with BUR. Oh, and now the test is fixed. But, you know, I changed something and I had to go change the test, which is annoying. So now the fakes, you can boo the spy in stub. Boo. Okay, there's still 3 persons there. And now, let's try something else. My recipe repository. Where is it? Service. It's implementing like some interface here, and I'm just changing the interface. I want to use an object as arguments. Okay, and here, let's see what's happening or not with our tests. The tests are still passing. Yay! But wait, it's broken. Because the thing is, what our test didn't see is that our test is still mimicking an old behavior. Oh, sorry. Our test is still assuming that the parameter we were expecting is just a string, and our spy is programmed with that. It's always returning the same value, so it just works. So again, the spying stub here did a false negative. Like, it's like, oh, there's no bug, but actually there is a bug. Okay, so boo again. Yeah, sorry. And I have a good group today. And the thing is, actually, if I had compiled the recipe search component, I would have seen that the type checking wouldn't pass here. So now that I refactor my code, the tests finally fails. So the spying stubs actually did a little bit of its job. Yay! But just a little bit. Yay. Okay, good. And now, let's go back to the search spec component. And now I have to adapt the tests and say, okay, I'm expecting keywords, BUR, and here I'm expecting an empty object, because otherwise it's broken. And Now, okay, the test is passing. But now imagine how high maintenance this could be. The service that I'm stubbing here can be used like in hundreds or thousands of places in my application. So I would have to change like 100 or 1,000 tests. So what do? You give up on refactoring. You just keep your legacy code as it is. So I'm not really happy with this situation. So sorry, Spy and Stub, we're gonna give a try to the fake. And first, I have to implement a fake. So the fake is nothing more than an implementation of the same interface that the real recipe repository is implementing. And I'm doing some I'm implementing some shortcuts here. So the cool thing is that you don't need any test framework skills or whatever. It's just basic TypeScript. So I'm just filtering some recipes I have in memory using the keywords. I have some funny hacks that I added. This is just like if you have the keywords contain an error, the fake might produce an error. If the keywords contain a delay, the delay keyword, the fake will return in a slower fashion, just as an example. But we'll see later that we shouldn't abuse this. And the fake has an additional method, which is set recipes, that allows my tests to control the list of recipes that the fake contains. So the good thing is that the fake doesn't need any special skills, but of course I will have to do this implementation and maintain it, but it's going to be reused in different tests. So it's kind of a good punch for fake, but it's also some effort for the fake. Boo. But just some effort. So it's an investment. Now let's go back to the test. And here, what I'm going to do, you might have noticed that here I have a provider, so I'm providing the recipe repository fake as the recipe repository, and I'm also providing the recipe repository fake itself so that the application can use the fake as if it were the recipe repository, but in my tests, I'm going to inject the recipe repository fake and have the additional set recipes method, so I don't have to do any fancy typecasting or whatever. And look at this. So now, instead of all this, I am going to provide the recipe repository fake, and when I'm configuring the test bed, before rendering the component, I am injecting this, and here I'm using, again, the object mother, which is something that helps you build a decent object without caring too much about the details. I don't have to return the repo anymore, and I don't have to make any assertions about whether it was called properly or not, because if it's not called properly, I'm not going to have the results. So that's it. And here, just no more mock blah, blah, blah. Cool. And is my test passing? Yes. Thanks, Wallaby.js and WebStorm for this. I see this here. If I go back to the terminal, I can see that my tests are passing. OK? Now, I'm just going to commit these changes. Switch to fake. OK. So I don't have any more changes. Now let's refactor and see how our test is robust. Here I'm going to remove the debounce. Of course, removing the debounce should break another test, the test of the recipe filter component, for example. And look at this, our tests are passing. And now, if I go and change the recipe repository service, the maintainer of the recipe repository service decides to, the owner of the service decides to change the signature to something like this. So here, we do this, and as I am the maintainer of the service, I am also the maintainer of the fake, which is just close to it, and it's here. And I'm going to change the signature, as you can see. Here it's not compiling. And now, choop, choop, choop. Oh, it's burger and B-U-R. Am I doing the right thing? Tube, tube, tube. And where is the test? Okay. Something went wrong. Yeah, boo. Choop, 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 expected. Yeah, I know what happens. Anyway, let's just. Oh, yeah, of course. You know what happened? My test is broken because I didn't refactor the recipe search component. So actually, it was good. Yay! And now I fixed my code, and all my tests are now passing. Sorry for the confusion. So everything is back on track. And look at the changelog. I only re-implemented, changed the service, the fake, and the components. I did not change any tests. If I had like 100 or 1,000 tests, they would have been still working properly. And in order to go even further, what I can do is that I can, even if I'm using something like Playwright component testing or whatever, I'm running my test here, and look, this is, oops, sorry, whoa. How do you, ow. Oh yeah, I switch. And here you can see that, okay, I have all my tests are passing in Playwright, and this is really filtering the recipes here, and I can see that, okay, this is just showing them all. Here I'm filtering with burger, and I have this, and I can play around with my fake in my Playwright component tests, which are just here, search. And look at this. Pretty readable. I'm just rendering the component. I'm checking the burger and the salad. And the whole setup is, again, just the same. Because here in the Playwright thing, I'm just providing the fake, and I'm setting the burger and the beer and whatever. And if I don't know, like I provide salad and cheese or whatever, and I go back to the test, obviously, this test will time out because it's going to fail, and it doesn't work because it's looking for a burger and a beer, and it's getting a burger, a salad, and cheese. So the person my test is disappointed. So, and of course, I can also use it in my own application as a demo. So let's just wrap it up. So, who wins? Well, actually, the fake wins for the most common scenes because it's really reusable for so many scenarios. So, oh, sorry. Bravo for the fake team. Yeah! But the spying stubs didn't completely lose it because they're pretty practical for what I call extreme stunts. Is when you want to try something like, I don't know, some weird errors or timing problems, like I want to fetch data there, I'm going to call my LLM API, and if it's too slow, I'm going to fall back on my previous results or whatever. And the last key takeaway is that while fakes are pretty cool because they're reusable, they're decoupled from the testing, they're decoupled from the test, they are decoupled from the frameworks. You'll be using their symmetric to the real implementation through contract testing and such things. They reduce the maintenance cost by avoiding what we call overspecification, and when your tests are too coupled to the implementation details. And they will always keep the parameters and the return values in sync. You don't check the parameters somewhere or the arguments you received somewhere, and you have the stubs value somewhere else. And it's less cognitive load at the end, but there are dangers. And the tip is, please keep them simple. Don't over-engineer them. Let tests provide the data. through object mothers and stuff. Don't create fakes with like hundreds of data in them already, and you have to know about that. And use spy and stubs for edge cases instead of like having like what I did, like with the keywords, with errors and stuff. That could be useful, but should be used wisely. And document the fake as much as you can. So please fake your services only when needed, again, and until you mock them when you really need to get out of the fake. So thank you. You can find the slides and the source code by following the links below. And also, one last thing, I just released my Angular testing course, and it's up there. And you can just go register right now. And there is a special offer right now, and it's so you have a discount. That's not enough. Oh, that's okay. That's better. Well, thank you. And can we take a picture together with everyone? Because you were really great, and that was a really nice experience. Thank you. We did.